boy, stop being lazy. Yeah, and I became creative. And I learned how to create it. And now that pride's for me. So come see. Oh, come here.
Amongst the clouds is where you'll find me. Welcome back to the silver lining. We back, baby. Welcome back to the Silver Lining Podcast. I'm your host, at least for today, Singington. And this is your co-host, Cam L. He is the ruler of Krypton, which no longer exists. So now he go by Clark Kent. Cam Kent, my bad. Sorry, I didn't mean to disrespect you. And he is a Superman. How you doing, Cam?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. Enjoying seeing these off-season perk up, seeing some of these transactions, seeing some of these players going to trade block, seeing some of these guys get the absolute bag. It's been good. I can't wait to see what next week in store. Who knows? Maybe Kirk will or won't still be on this team. Hey, that's what we're here for.
Hey, man, look, it's been a minute since we put another episode out. It's been accumulating things to talk about, man. We probably should have put one out maybe a little sooner, but we here now, baby. And we got a lot of things to go over. So one of the things that was actually the driving force behind doing a podcast or doing an episode was my man Cam had some machinations. All right. Some would say they may have aged like milk, but we'll get to that at a later date and time. All right.
Hey, I was going to off the hopium.
Off the hopium, baby. And hey, but I think at this time of year we all high off the hopium. Let's be real, right? But yeah, Cam was thinking maybe we could get work Kirk Cousins into a deal with Miles Garrett. Miles Garrett has since been extended, so he's probably staying put right in Cleveland because they said, hey, matter of fact, I want to say, hey, I'm not even taking a meeting with you, Miles. I'm just going to show you a bag, and you're going to sign the dotted line and be happy. And I think he's right. $40 million a year. Congratulations to Miles Garrett. Good thing for him. Another thing that I wanted to just get in front of right now. Okay. Kiki's delivery service has made its final delivery. For those of you who are familiar with the anime, you're like, what the hell is he talking about? For those of you unfamiliar with that anime, you're like, what the hell is he talking about? I'm referring to Keanu Neal, affectionately known as Kiki. He made his retirement a couple weeks ago. Not a Falcon great, but a Falcon good. I really enjoyed having him here. Really sucked that he had the injury history he had. And, you hear us a lot on this podcast jump on that moment during the Philadelphia Eagles game where he jumped for the interception, kneed the ball up. Philadelphia caught the ball and was able to get a field goal, which had a big impact on the final score of the game. But he was a great player for us, and he was there for some really good moments. Glad that he was able to make it 8 seasons in the NFL. Wish he could have spent all of them with the Falcons and had a longer career, but that's the nature of football. It doesn't always play out that way. But just wanted to go ahead and congratulate him on a successful NFL career. Cam, anything you want to say about that?
Yeah, like you said, I wouldn't call him a Falcon great, but a Falcon good for sure. Enjoy watching him play. He always put his heart on the line every time he played, especially with us. Really enjoyed his play style. It's unfortunate he got hurt, especially in pivotal moments when we needed him. But hey, man, it's the nature of the beast. 8 good years in the NFL. I will always remember him fondly, albeit that Philadelphia that catch in the division. Albeit that one moment, I will always remember him fondly as a Falcon.
Absolutely, man. I remember when he got drafted. I said, "Who the fuck is this? I don't know this guy. I wanted us to get a linebacker. I wanted Deion Jones, which is hilarious, but we took Keanu Neal. I didn't even know who he was at the time because I wasn't really scouting that draft. I do it year by year, and at least for first round prospects. And I was like, "Who is this guy?" But he very quickly acquainted me with his name. And with number 22, that man was a fucking lurker. He was over the middle. Like, you better have eyes on him when you catching the ball across the middle, man. Keanu Neal was old school. He was old school tough. And that's how it is, man. Sometimes you get a guy who he's like that, and then the career gets ran short. And we just want to go ahead and acknowledge that guy. Since that's one of the other things that happened since the last time we had done an episode. So lots been going on lately. One of the things I want to go ahead and jump into first is recently Kirk Cousins requested a meeting with the Falcons owner Arthur Blank. It's somehow gotten out. With these leaks, I'm like, oh, who the fuck leaked it? There's nobody with spy technology in Arthur Blank house or whoever the hell Arthur Blank and Kirk Cousins met that heard that, right? So it's like, who's letting it out? But Kirk Cousins has formally, because we all knew, but he's formally made it known that he wants to go to a team where he can compete, right? Now, I've got some strong feelings about this, but as I want to do, I want to know what you got to think first, Cam.
Well, Arthur Blank has come out and said that the front office will do what's in the best interest of the team. And I love that because we're not going to just bend to Kirk's demands. We're going to do what's in best interest of the team. And if that means Kirk is the backup going into this season, then so be it. Then so be it. We already paid the man. If Kirk's the backup, oh well. And you know what? I'm cool with it because you know what? Although I believe Michael Penix has a very high ceiling, you cannot ignore his injury history. So something could happen, and having Kirk as your backup is a great contingency plan. Hey, what did we say the worst place to be? QB purgatory. So I'm cool keeping him. But I highly doubt we do that. There's a good chance we trade him. Look, the dominoes are already falling. Geno Smith traded to Las Vegas. That means there's a quarterback need in Seattle. Hey, they're more than likely looking at Sam Darnold. And then what does that mean for Minnesota? Do they sign a quarterback? Do they just go with J.J. McCarthy? Like, who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
Does Aaron Rodgers go the full Brett Favre way and then go to Minnesota and then lose in the NFC Championship game? Who knows, man?
For the stories, though, man.
All I know is there are a lot of teams.
But it bet not be to the Saints, though. Just putting that out there.
Oh yeah, it bet not be to them.
I'm about to. Never mind. I want to be some type of way, but Minnesota done gave us some good moments against the Saints too. But that was not one of them.
Yeah, that wasn't one of them.
That was not one of them. They
played up for it since
like, man, I think about the Minnesota Miracle. I think about the Kyle Rudolph touchdown catch. Kirk Cousins' only playoff win is against the Saints.
Oh my God!
But. Oh man!
I still remember that. I still remember that.
Oh my God! That's the whole reason I brought it up in my head. So I don't, want to bring up the Saints right now. I don't give a fuck about the Saints. But that play from Brett Favre, I just remember watching it live and thinking, "What a stupid fucking play to make." I'm like, he could have ran 5 yards, got out of bounds, and got a reasonable chance, especially indoors, to kick a game winning. And you threw it across your body going out of bounds. And I'm just like, at that moment in the game, where all you need, like, no matter how that play ended, it was, I mean, you were thinking to yourself, no matter what throw you were going for, you were going for a field goal, right? That wasn't I'm throwing it deep downfield trying to get a touchdown. That was I'm just trying to get some yards throw. Well, if you're just trying to get some yards, why didn't you just run 5 yards and go out of bounds? And that's why Brett Favre is a fucking scam, just so you know. All right, fuck Brett. Anyway, what were you saying, sir? Sorry.
Hey, man, all I was saying is the dominoes are falling. There's a QB. There's a limited amount of QBs out there. Like, we can name them off. There's Sam Darnold. There's Kirk, of course. There's Russell Wilson, potentially, maybe Justin Fields, Daniel Jones, Aaron Rodgers. So, like, there are quarterbacks available.
There's a market.
There's a market there. a good reason for trading for Kirk is you don't have to re-sign him. He's already got the money. So either a team is gonna just pay the money, like take the contract off our hands. We may not get anything for him, but like if they could take the contract off our hands, that'd be great. But I highly doubt a team would do that. I highly doubt that. What I honestly think will happen is that we're gonna eat the money. Another team may give us some picks for Kirk, and it's just gonna be that. We'll see
Yeah.
how it works out. So either way, like free agency wise, I'd say Terry he does an okay job drafting. I don't know. Sometimes in the later rounds he be missing. So we got 4 picks. He gonna have to make it. He gonna have to make something shake this offseason. This is the offseason of his career right here with the Falcons. If he don't kill it this offseason, he gonna be gone.
So, before you go down that route, because I got thoughts about that as well. I wanted to give my thoughts about Kirk Cousins, right? So, I it's not lost on me that Arthur Blank is a billionaire and Kirk is a millionaire, right? And Kirk is an athlete. So Kirk is well within his rights to collect as much money as he can while he can. He's not in a different industry where he's going to be doing this job until he's 50, 60, or as long as he's relevant. This is an industry where when the market no longer demands you, you out. All right. He's 37. He's coming off a rough season. So he wants to collect his bag and go if he can. Right. But this is also one of them situations where I'm like, hey, Arthur Blank might be the billionaire, but he operates under a salary cap. And Kirk, you want everybody to know that you want to go. Well, to me, that's honestly a little bit of a sign of you losing your leverage. All right? Like, yeah, you want to go? Well, let's think about why you want to leave. You want to leave because you're going to be 37 at the start of next season. His birthday's in August. And you put out some mediocre tape at the second half of the games that you started last year. And people think you might have fallen off a cliff. And it's important that you get out on the market as soon as possible if you want to be playing. Honestly, I think this is the time. And what's so funny is before that meeting with Arthur Blank, I was thinking, maybe we should just give it up, let Kirk go, and just recoup what we can and focus on moving forward. I no longer feel that way. We'd only really be saving the $10 million roster bonus he's due. We'd have a hole at quarterback, which, I don't know, depends on how you structure deals. At least part of that is going to be the relief we get is going to be taken up by that quarterback that we would have to then sign to be the backup to Kirk. I mean, to be the backup to Michael Penix Jr., right? But then I say, well, Kirk, how bad do you want to play? Do you want to play bad enough to restructure your contract so it's easier for us to move you, be that trade or cut? Are you do you want it bad enough to waive your no trade clause? Because that's how contracts work. They work because you agree to one thing, we agree to one thing, and we both agree that those terms are agreeable. And then we sign a deal, right? Well, if the Falcons got to be on the hook to make sure that you get paid, then you're going to be on the hook for getting yourself out of here, right? So you either going to come up off some of that money on that contract, and then we can move you, or we can cut you because then we'll have more money to play with, or you're going to come up off that no trade clause and we can send you somewhere where somebody else puts their bill, right? But you're not about to come out and say, I want to go somewhere where I can start in 2025 and think that by coming out with that, that mean that, oh, okay, now that means that, yeah, I put the pressure on them now. Now they know I don't want to be here. They don't want a guy that doesn't want to be here, on their roster. No, 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 no. Come on here, Kirk. Come on here and get in the locker room. Get your ass in here. Watch Michael Penix Jr. throw the ball further and faster and farther than you ever could. All right. And guess what? If Michael Penix Jr. get hurt, you're gonna have to get your ass out there. And if you want to play, and even if you want to play somewhere that's not here, guess what? You still gonna have to play good. Because if you really want to not play in somewhere that's not Atlanta, go ahead and put out more bad film than you already have.
Exactly.
Go ahead. Put out
Exactly.
more bad film. Give people more reasons to not want you. You get what I'm saying?
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Like, hey, Kirk, guess what? You locked up. They won't let you out. They won't let you out. No, they won't let you. Because I'm like, yo, Kirk, I don't think you really and fully understand the situation here. Kirk has always been like a good teammate, a good player, good teammate, good guy. But he and his and Mike McCartney, his agent, have been great businessmen. All right. Kirk basically undefeated in business. But guess what? Everybody lose sometime. All right. What can't happen to me now is that Kirk get out of this contract. We don't get nothing, even though he didn't say he want to start somewhere. To me, like that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about leverage. I'm like, hey, look, if I'm just being real now. Now, I gotta admit, for Terry and Raheem to have that kind of balls, that's a little different. They on a little shorter clock. But I'm like, your contract $27.5 million is $37.5 million with the extra $10 million. Arthur Blank's a billionaire. You think he give a fuck? Okay, sit on the bench. But guess what? Guess what? Who Kirk fighting right now? Who's Kirk fighting right now that is undefeated in the history of sports?
Father Time.
Father Time. Undefeated in the history of sports. And Kirk is going to be 37 starting next year and then put out bad tape for the second half after an injury.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Everybody laughing at the Falcons now. Everybody saying that's a stupid free agent signing. That's how bad he played. All right. And it's crazy because he didn't start out that way.
He threw.
Yeah, he had some up and downs, but the ups was up.
He did, yeah.
There's a reason my hand is high off the screen. That's how high his ups was.
Franchise leader in
passing
yards in the game. Kirk
his
Cousins.
downs was right here too. His downs was off the screen too. Right? And you the lasting impression, you at a point in your career where the lasting impression you have is the bad parts. Right? Mm-hmm. And so you do need to be focused on getting out of here if playing is important to you. Now, if you're okay with collecting that check, which I do not, I don't have a problem with. If Kirk say, hey, fuck it, I'm going to just sit on the bench and I'm going to collect this check. Hey, man, it's $37.5 million. I'm like, hey, I would do the exact same thing. Yep, I will take some of what he's having.
Gladly.
Gladly, right? But you said you want to play because you know you at the end of the tunnel. And if you want to play, and look, I'm not about to sit here and act like Kirk a victim. You know why Michael Penix Jr. starting? Why is Michael Penix Jr. starting, Kirk? Cam?
Because he could only barely outplay Desmond Ritter.
I wasn't even gonna describe it that way, but yeah, like I'm like you was Desmond Ritter 2.0, like you was the upgraded Desmond Ritter last year. You know what I'm saying?
Like legit, almost lost to him.
Boy, and I'm like, Kirk, no matter what, the reason you in the position you are is because of how you played.
Thank you.
It's not, some sort like, all right. The Falcons drafted a quarterback, didn't let you know they was planning on doing that when they signed you to the team. All right, fine. I mean, that's not really your fucking business. Because You know what is your business? The $100 million guaranteed that you signed when they signed you that Minnesota didn't want to give you. That's your business.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But they said, hey, we're gonna draft this quarterback. Just go out and give us a reason to keep him on the bench.
Yeah.
Just that's all that's really what you got paid to do if you really want to just get to the nitty and gritty, right? You got paid to keep the backup quarterback a backup quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You overpaid for it. You didn't do it, right? So, like, I mean, look, maybe the Falcons are just as culpable in this situation as far as putting themselves in that situation. But yeah, Kirk, you put yourself in the situation too. Your play was not up to snuff. You chased the money like you historically have done, and nothing's wrong with that. By the way, I'm going to keep reiterating that that is not a crime. I'm just saying that now doing the strategy that you've always done makes you a victim in it somehow. I will not stand for it. That's why I'm sitting down because I won't stand for it. You got me? So, yeah, that's not what we're finna do here. All right. Now I had a lot of thoughts about this because hearing that, I was like, and then obviously, I'm a fan like the rest of you guys. I listen to other people's podcasts, hear what they got to say about it, and some people making it seem like, oh, we got to get off Kirk, and now he's, we got to get off Kirk. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to be here. You can't keep a guy on. I'm like, yes, the fuck we can. Oh, you can't make him a hostage. Yes, we can. That we literally just saw the Browns do it to Myles Garrett. Owner didn't even meet with him. Owner said, hey, shut up and take this check. Hey, there's a saying that a gilded cage is still a cage. Well, guess what? A gilded cage is still gilded. You could be behind some cold iron bars eating prison porridge. But you got a gold cage that got a sauna, a jacuzzi, got all this amenities. And Myles Garrett said, you know what? You add a little extra gold in my cage, I think I'll stay here.
Hey, he got some
It's not
gold.
that bad. I mean, the Wild can't be that good. You know what I'm saying? So, everybody's saying with you, Kirk, man, damn, your pockets have been lined and furnished.
That's what I'm saying.
And for honestly, for what you gave us, you should be grateful. You should be grateful. All right. This was hey, you said you wanted to retire here. And you didn't play up the snub. And guess what? If you want to retire here, you still can. You still can. Just retire now.
Or take,
go ahead, get your money off the books for us real quick.
Or take Michael money. I mean, don't take Michael's job. Take MPJ's job if you want to retire here. Then play better.
No. I think that ship them sailed. That ship sailed. The only way he gonna retire here now is if he retire this year. Now you can retire at Falcon. Now you can retire in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. Like, where would Kirk, if Kirk Cousins was retired, what would he retire as? He basically, like, no disrespect to Kirk now. Y'all know I'm a Kirk guy. I love Kirk. He a merc. He played for the highest bidder. He ain't no good guys and bad guys in his story. It's guys who had the fattest purse.
Mm-hmm.
That's who he gonna play for. Don't act like you ain't been nothing but business, and now the Falcons do business, and somehow the Falcons doing you dirty. Somehow, oh, I want to go play for another team. I don't want to give my money though. I want to play. No, we not doing that. I'm so over that idea and that notion, that thought process. All right, now I could honest to God fill out the runtime on this whole rant, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop right there. For now, as you guys saw, I had a tankard, which is typically a beverage filled with alcohol. Is a receptacle filled with alcohol. It's some beer. So maybe I'll decide I'm not done talking about Kirk. Go ahead and spin this story back around. All right. But the reason why we can't talk about Kirk Cousins all day is because while we can't get Myles Garrett, we found out that there are options for the Atlanta Falcons. Trey Hendrickson, the NFL's number 3 ranked pass rusher as far as sacks over the last 3 seasons, has been granted permission to seek a trade. And the Falcons need to mortgage hell and high water to get that shit. I don't care that he's 30. Get him in the building. The man is an every down player. He's big. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, he gonna get slower, and now that he's slow, but he's not as strong, he, get bullied. You know what I'm saying? He's also a technician. So that part's gonna stick with him. And honestly, at 30, it's not like we got to give him a huge deal, right? We can give him like a little 3-year. Move the money around, make it happen, Terry. Like I'm not gonna lie. At this point, the only thing is trying to figure out what we should offer them. And the real question is, should we overpay to secure it? Because we don't really got a lot of capital this year. Maybe we should say, hey, we got limited draft capital this year. But if you fuck with us, we'll give you a second for next year. Now, you can take a third for this year if you're thirsty for it, but we can give you a second if you can wait next year for Trey Hendrickson. You ready to try to make something like that happen?
Hey,
hey, look. All I'm saying is, now, look. Let's be real now. Let's be real now. Who been making the second round picks for us?
damn. Now that you mention it.
No, all I'm saying is, let's look at Terry's draft history, second round. Richie Grant, not even gonna be with the team.
Rukaroro
was one. Was Troy a second rounder? A third rounder?
I believe he was a third.
Third.
I don't think so.
Well, Arnold Ebiketie.
Yeah.
So that's a decent one. But like, would you take Arnold Ebiketie or Trey Hendrickson?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Matthew Bergeron.
A solid pick.
So we got some second rounders there, but would you rather another one of that caliber player or Trey fucking Hendrickson? Who would you rather have?
I'd rather have Trey right now.
You rather have Trey right now, right?
Trey right now.
You ain't got to think too hard about it, right? Hey, don't let these people out here get you fooled up saying, oh, a second rounder is overpaying. All right, then. Who you getting in the second round currently? Who are you getting in the second round currently that let you say, hey, we need to not give up a second rounder for Trey Hendrickson? I will gladly give up. Matter of fact, we waited too long for it. Now, Myles Garrett deal and drove up Trey Hendrickson price.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something I done found out about contracts in sports. You either take your medicine early or you take it late. But if you take it late, it's going to cost more. Right? Mm-hmm. See, we got Chris Lindstrom paid early. Now, in a year or two, after a couple of free agent cycles, Chris Lindstrom deal going to look like a steal. All right? But see, Trey Hendrickson, now that he's seeking a trade, his trade value is only going up. All right? We need to get in front of this. Hell, one of the other people I want to talk about is Kyle Pitts. Hell, maybe we throw Kyle Pitts in too. Don't get me wrong. The thought of giving him a second and Kyle Pitts for Trey Hendrickson seems steep because we used the first on Kyle Pitts. A second is high. We basically effectively giving them a first and a second.
And I doubt they even go for it. They just signed Mike Gesicki.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but Kyle Pitts brings a different skill set. And honestly, the way Joe Burrow plays the game, Kyle Pitts would actually be huge for him.
He would.
You know what I'm saying? Now, to be fair, though, to Cincinnati, that would be inviting a problem into their lab. That would be, trading for a player that is going to have a contract due soon, right? And a guy who's on a 5th-year option, so he's not exactly cheap now, right? But They're trying to compete next year, right? And Kyle Pitts is just a throw-in to help. The second rounder should be plenty, right? But to sweeten the pot, so to say, to cut the line and get first dibs, we're also going to throw in an explosive tight end that has shown deep down the field ability, has had a 1,000-yard season before in the NFL, that has fallen on hard times with us recently. But let's be real, two of them quarterbacks he's had, two of the seasons of quarterbacks he's had has been mediocre. All right. You can say what you will. You can say about what anybody else did. Nobody caught for 1,000 yards while Marcus Mariota was your starting quarterback. Nobody caught for 1,000 yards while Desmond Ridder was your quarterback. Not just Kyle Pitts. Nobody did it. All right. And replacing that production that Kyle Pitts brought is going to be a hardship for us to have to figure out and overcome. You know what I'm saying? We got to give those yards somewhere else now. So we say, hey, we give you a second next year. We throw in Kyle Pitts. Maybe you only get him for a year, but that's a year of Kyle Pitts, along with the second we giving you for Trey Hendrickson, who we still have to pay. That's more than fair. Honestly, we taking a ripoff here because we want a pass rusher that bad, but let's be real. We're really overpaying for it, especially this year where it's a deep pass rusher class. Maybe it's not deep with all pro talent. Maybe it's not deep with early first round talent, but everybody is going to have an opportunity to draft a quality pass rusher in the second round. So you might not be able to replace Trey Hendrickson, but you can replace Trey Hendrickson. You get me?
Exactly.
With that pick that we gave you. Right? So that's a lot of how I'm viewing the Trey Hendrickson deal for Atlanta. What you thinking about that? How you viewing that?
Hey, I think we should do whatever it takes to sign him. Trey Hendrickson is a all-pro player, and we have not had an all-pro player on defense. I mean, don't get me wrong, Jesse Bates is him.
Yeah.
He's him. He's been a tremendous signing for us. But like,
well, then say for Jesse, yeah.
On the line, in the trenches, hell, I love Grady, but he ain't been playing all-pro. We need an all-pro player on the defensive line who's going to be a game changer, someone who can get 10-plus sacks, someone who could potentially get 15-plus sacks.
Yeah.
Someone like that. We need that. We have not had that since John Abraham. And we had a little bit of that in that one season with Vic Beasley, but even then, he was damn near a waste of a pick. So we got to do whatever it takes to get a legitimate pass rusher on this team, someone who can legitimately change things on defense. We have to. That's what it's going to have to take. And like, I'm looking at the way our roster is built, and I like it because it's very talented. But at points, it seems like you can tell because we've put a little bit of the cart before the horse, in the sense that I feel like we should have invested in the trenches early, as opposed to spending some of this high draft capital on skill position players. Like, Drake's gonna have to get paid. I hope we keep Algier, because Algier's gonna have to get paid a little bit as well. Bijan's gonna have to get paid.
Oh, we got no chance to keep Algier, bro.
Exactly.
That's my thoughts. That's my thoughts. But go ahead.
It's a very reminiscent of the LaDainian Tomlinson, Michael Turner situation, like where like he's like, as much as I want to keep Algier, more than likely he's going after this next year, which is a fucking bummer. But yeah, Bijan's gonna have to get paid. All these guys, it helped. Maybe potentially Kyle Pitts, depending on how this year goes. He might eventually.
If he's a Falcon and he goes off, we in his position.
Like, you had a very good point. Like, I don't want to lose his production. Like, I'm still very high on Kyle Pitts. Granted, I'm cool with us trading if we get a legitimate return. If we get a legitimate return for him, I'm cool with it. Like, don't let the numbers fool you. Like, Kyle Pitts is still that guy. We just haven't utilized him correctly. And don't get it wrong. Like, when Kyle Pitts was eating, he was eating when Kirk Cousins was eating. When Kirk Cousins started playing like Desmond Ridder 2.0, guess what? His production fell down.
It did.
So it's not entirely his fault. The QB play fell. And look what happened when Michael Penix Jr. gets the rock. It goes back up. Granted, he had a couple mistakes that led to some interceptions. He had one mistake.
Really just the one play, but because it's Kyle Pitts and people hate Kyle Pitts.
People want to bash him. People want to bash him for that one mistake. But hey, look at it. He did catch that game-tying touchdown against Washington. Kyle Pitts still has it. I'm a Kyle Pitts truth. I'm a Kyle Pitts truther. The man still has it. I believe him. It's just making sure the situation is right. Like you mentioned it before. No one's getting 1,000 yards with Mariota. No one's getting 1,000 yards with Desmond Ritter. No one's getting 1,000 yards. Well, Kirk Cousins is playing like Desmond Ritter. But like, hey man, like as a team, we can do a hell of a lot better. But like I was mentioning before, we put a little bit of the cart before the horse. Luckily, Terry invested heavily in the line this past draft, like especially on the defensive side. Like I still think Braylon Trice can be something. Ruka Roro has shown flashes like that he can like be that he can have like some real potential as well. So like he's invested on the defensive line. And he tried with Matt Judon, didn't work out. I thought he played a little bit better. He tried with Justin Simmons, who at times like looked damn near invisible out there. So like he's made some effort to like improve on the defense, but at the end of the day, we need a true game changer.
Yeah.
And there's only so many of them. Now, granted, we ain't gonna go. I hope we don't pay him 40, but he damn near gonna command like 35 a year.
Yeah.
So we gonna have to, and if we gonna pay him, that means we gonna have to find a way to offload Kirk. And truth be told, you made very, very compelling points. I'm cool with Kirk staying. He already getting the bag. I don't care if he locked up and go to handcuffs. I don't give a fuck. I do not care. I get your sympathy falls on deaf ears here. Don't get me wrong. I get what you want. You want a starting role. You want it. It's gonna happen one of two ways. MPJ get hurt and you come in and show out, or you actually outplay him for the job. I don't think you're gonna outplay him for the job. But he do got injury concerns. So you could potentially have a chance here in Atlanta. Or you could give up your no trade clause, go to a team, find a team, or like maybe restructure your deal. So you help us help you, so you can get out. At the same time, like you still got your back no matter what, Kirk. Like you're gonna be good no matter what. So we got some options. We're gonna see how shit play out, but at the end of the day, I hope Terry do whatever it takes to get Trey.
Yo, that's what we were talking about when we talk about huffing the hopium, man. So I know when your team doing bad and you trying to suck it up as copium, but right now we on the hopium. We on that, and that's at the top of my wish list. Honest to God, if that's the only free agency move we make and it's a trade, so be it. And I mean, obviously we have holes to fill in, so if we fill those holes in with players, fine. But I would at least say Terry's trying, right? But we got some other names out there. Let's not take all day. So thumb, give me the thumb. I'm talking to you, Cam.
Okay. Oh, all right.
All right. Khalil Mack.
Depending on the price, bruh. As old as he is,
hey. When he slow down, I'll start worrying about it. But he ain't slowing down yet. Well,
okay.
he's slowing down, but he's not slow. Give me Khalil.
All right. Okay.
What you saying? It's up to you. Hey. You.
It depends. I'm not overpaying for him. Overpaying for him.
Nah, I'm not either. But I mean, hey, he 34, but he's still doing his thing. And
hey, very reminiscent of Julius Peppers.
Look, some guys age like wine, man. Hey,
they do.
Wine. But some guys age like wine, and some guys age like Matthew Judon. But yeah, speaking of which, Matthew Judon.
Get out of here.
For the right price. And not as a starter. If he's a starter, I'm down.
Oh, like a rotational piece? Yeah. If it's like a rotational piece, yeah, a major upgrade from Lorenzo Carter.
Exactly. Look, we'll pay you to be certain things. We won't pay you to start, but to come in like Lorenzo Carter. Oh yeah, I'll pay you off for that. He was still better than him. You know what I'm saying? Joey Bosa.
Hell no, he too expensive. He too expensive, and I think he's
Hey
gonna stay
man,
playing anyway. So yeah,
and
I'm
not
good.
even just that for me. What's the best ability?
I'm like it was his athleticism, but
Not
that
his best ability, the best ability.
availability.
He ain't been there. He ain't been available.
That's what I'm
The
saying. Like I'm
last
good
thing
on
I think the
him.
Falcons need right now is a guy that's unavailable all the time.
If you had asked me between the two Charger players, Bosa or Mac, give me Mac. I know he older, but he gonna play and he gonna get to the quarterback.
Hey, he still plays
He's a
well.
seasoned vet. Like he aged like wine. Khalil Mack has proven moves that work. Yeah,
Yeah,
like you know what? Now I think about it. Yeah, Khalil Mack, I'm with it. I'm with it.
yeah. That's
I'm
what I'm
with it.
saying, man.
I'm
He
with it,
gave you
bro.
something to work with.
Like, he's going to be an upgrade from Matthew Judon. Like that's a given.
If he
And like
comes on our team, he's the best pass rusher on this team.
absolutely, man. And like, all right. Let's look at our pass rushers that we got right now. Like, let's say we had Khalil Mack, Matthew Judon, Arnold Ebiketie.
That's if we re-signed you down, yeah.
I'm praying Berlin Trice work out.
Caden Ellis.
Kate Nellis. We got some people. And
We
I'm
got
pretty
some
sure
people, but see that's how you end up. Now I'm not familiar with all of the free agent corners, but that's where we at least on this podcast we always have that seesaw battle between pass rusher and corner, right? Because last year, beginning of the year, pass rush was the issue, but we always said that we had issues with how they were playing off coverage and letting teams just get all these yards and then trying to get them in 3rd and 2 and then get stops there, right? But then they buckled down on the coverage. Coverage got tighter. And then
mm-hmm.
all of a sudden we were able to manufacture some pass rush. We had no problem affecting the quarterback and getting to the quarterback. But then all of a sudden our coverage was cheeks. And then so part of the battle there, at least for me, um, is you say, all right, well, which one of these is it easier to make elite?
Yeah,
You kind of already got two really good pieces in the secondary with AJ Terrell and Jesse Bates. We might could run it back with Mike Hughes as long as we get somebody to replace D. Alford. And Justin Simmons wasn't straight trash. Could you do better? Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely
But
can do better.
could you do worse?
Also true.
Yes. Hey, we did worse when we had Richie Grant back there. Do you guys want Richie Grant back there again?
Exactly.
I know
So
he's not going. I think his contract's up this year too. But my point is, you can end up with a player like that in that position. So if you say, all right, which one of these units can I fix a little easier? It might be the secondary, and then you can kind of get the pass rush going. Now the problem was, when you looked at that game, like their game against the Panthers, that was discouraging because the Panthers invested heavily in their O line, and it showed.
mhm.
It showed. They pushed us around. We couldn't get push up there, and that's one of those games where no, you needed to invest in the trenches. That's one of them games where all that blitzing and tactics and shit to produce pressure ain't gonna save you. All right, the Eagles, a team that ain't gonna save you. You know, so that's where we end up on that as far as just trying to figure out what to do with corners and whether or not you should do it in free agency, right? That's the battle because let's be real. There's not a wrong answer, but it does seem like because the pass rush issue has gone on for so long that the Falcons should take a pass rusher, at least in the draft or in free agency. Yeah.
Um, that seems to be the smart thinking, but the way our team is set up, we haven't been able to produce. We've never really been able to truly produce a pass rush. And I don't think anybody we draft at 16 is gonna like make that much of a difference. If I'm being completely honest, the way our team is set up, I think it'd be best. I think it'd be in our best interest to take a corner at 16. I
Yeah,
I think if we get like another legitimate, like the best player available, but if we could get like a legit number one corner. Like don't get me wrong, AJ's our number one, but hey, if we get a guy who can compete and be at like a number one level, where like, hey, AJ, this guy might be the number one. Someone with that kind of caliber of talent, that potential, yes, I think it would be great. It would be great for our secondary, and we get more coverage sacks. Have you noticed in the second half of the season? That's kind of what we were getting. We were playing a little bit more man, and then some of our pass rushers were able to get home. We were able to finally produce some pressure. Like, hey, a good secondary is worth its weight in gold, man.
Look, I know they say you don't have a good defense without a good pass rush, but you don't have a good defense without good coverage. And look, I could show you a bad defense with good pass rush. I don't think I could show you a bad defense with good coverage.
Hey, and I get it. You don't want to put
like
the on a horse.
if they can cover, you probably got a good defense. Like Denver wasn't called the masters of sack, the sack horses or whatever. They was called the no-fly zone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Legion of Boom wasn't named after the D line. It was after the secondary.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and those are arbitrary parallels to draw. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm like, look, man, the ability to cover and play football. Don't get me wrong. Now, every great defense could get after the passer, and we need to be able to get after the passer too. It's just, you know, which one can you bring to that elite level? Because that's the other thing too. I think it's become abundantly clear. I think most of us Falcons fans can agree that it's become abundantly clear that if we want to turn that thing around, we're going to have to get elite players.
Mm-hmm.
That's where, you know, I'm like, Terry, you might want to move with some urgency. Like this might be your last year because, you know, part of the reason we are in the situation we are in is because while Terry has actually been pretty good in free agency, he's been pretty bad in the draft. After the first round, anyway.
Very
you know what
true.
I'm saying? And
I say
so
he's been average. I say he's been average.
Maybe it average out, but if you take away his first round, do you think he's still average? How many guys from his drafts are starting on this team right now? From his drafts now.
Drew Dalman,
and Matthew Bergeron.
Matthew Bergeron. I would say at times did Rook start towards the end of the year?
He didn't really start, no.
Okay. I know Richard Grant started a little bit, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, that wasn't a good starter. That wasn't a quality starter. That's a guy who started. That's not a starter.
Yeah. Troy Anderson, when he's not hurt.
Started. I'm not sure he's a starter.
Yeah, you're making some compelling point. And I'm trying to list people who aren't first rounders either.
That's what I'm saying. No, you take away first rounder because I'm like, hell, all right, Terry, if you get 15 first rounders, then yeah, be my guest. I am okay with Terry picking 15 first round picks. But guess what? He ain't. He gonna pick second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. No, and I'm kind of once I get past that one, I'm not really that impressed.
Yeah.
And that's how you end up in a team where we always in that middle area because you know his free agent additions and first round picks keep the team a certain level, but you know guys that's going to be playing vital roles on cheap contracts, guys that's going to be depth pieces, guys that are not first rounders, he's not hitting on.
He's not. You're correct.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where we end up with our voids in the talent pool. Like, I think about the fact that I'm like, holy shit, we might have to start Ryan Newsom because We can't afford to make Drew Dalman a top 5 highest paid center in the league.
Because he
Not Drew
doesn't play.
Dalman, not for what he's given us. Like
He
Drew
hasn't.
Dalman is a good player. He can be a top 5 player on somebody else's roster where they're not already paying a quarterback that's going out the door, where they're not already paying, a safety, paying a linebacker, which we should probably extend Caden Ellis if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
I
I
think we
agree.
should at least extend him out to age 32, age 33 season. I think so. But um, we paying guys and we don't really have young talent that's cheap that's filling those areas. And so Terry, this is this
Big
big
free
season.
agency.
This is a big free agency for him.
Yeah, when like we got to get some talent on the defense. I know it's been mentioned that they haven't even really looked at offensive players. Granted, I mean I wouldn't be opposed to us maybe getting one of these free agent wide receivers, not paying for him, not paying the arm and the leg for him, but like, hey,
But what is the plan for center? Like,
yeah, like
are we gonna try out Drew Dalman with like who are we gonna try them out without competition? We gonna just hand the spot over to Newsel? I said Drew Dalman. We're gonna just hand the spot over to Ryan Newsel?
I mean the drop off in play wasn't like that much, like,
In the run game, kinda.
and yeah,
What game did we pop off in the run while Ryan Newsel was starting?
that's a good point.
I'm tired of having guys like Bijan and Tyler Algier in the backfield, and then we can't get them good run blocking.
No, that's
They
also a
can,
good point.
bro. They can take average run blocking and make it better. They can make it good. You can't. You just don't be bad at run blocking. And
You made a
and
very
then
good point, dog. Like
and look,
we got 4 draft picks this year.
and
We
another
got,
thing,
we got limited cap money because most of it's tied up in Kirk. So we ain't got much to work with. We really ain't got shit to work with. But one thing I know for damn sure, we not finna bend to the wheels of Kirk. So I don't know what Terry gonna do. I
look,
don't know what kind of magic he gonna pull off. I don't know how he gonna do it. But you got 4 draft picks, you got no money, and you gonna have to sign some guys and improve this team somehow. So hey,
and look. One of the
let's see,
underrated
let's see.
things that I hadn't really heard people talk about when we talk about starting Ryan Newsel, yeah, we talking about run blocking, but fuck that. I'm talking about protection. You have a young quarterback starting.
And you gonna
At
skip on
some
a line?
point,
You gonna skip?
he gonna need a center that know how to call protections. He gonna need a center that can take that part of the game off of his plate so that he can focus. Because at some point, with most quarterbacks, typically teams kind of get more tape on you. They see what you do well, what you don't do well, and they try to force you to do the things you don't do well. Right. And a lot of that usually involves pressure. And, if the young quarterback, hell, even Matt Ryan, when I forgot who Mike Person was starting at center in 2015, and he had to take on all of the protection calls and all of that, and Mike Person wasn't as good a player, but then his life got freaking changed when we got Alex Mack in. All of
Mm-hmm.
a sudden, you got a guy that's a good run blocker, good pass protector, and he can call protections. That man made my life on easy street. You know what I'm saying? And we need to be able to do that same thing for Michael Penix Jr. Now, Ryan Newsel has started 4 games, but he started 4 games with Kirk Cousins as the quarterback, so I'm not sure what the hell that means. I'm like, all right, was he calling the protections or was Kirk handling that? And when Michael Penix Jr. played, he played with Drew Dalman. You know what I'm saying? So we got work to do. We got work to do. In fact, actually, one of the things that kind of I wasn't sure how I felt about it. When we had the combine and we sent representatives only for defense and used all 45 of our interviews only for defensive players. I'm like, so we not even going to do our due diligence?
Not even for any offensive lineman?
You see what I'm saying? No offensive lineman. Like, don't get me wrong. I get it. You don't really need to talk to quarterbacks. You don't need to really talk to receivers. Maybe you need to talk to tight ends, maybe not.
No old lineman at all?
But you need O linemen. No running backs. You need O linemen.
You
You need
need
to
trench.
look. You need to talk. You like
You don't know
Yo,
what we. Granted,
what
our
Joe
old
Von Glenn
line.
gonna start for us? Like, all right. We start Ryan News. Ryan News will go down. Who's starting? You see what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Now, free agency hasn't started. Free agency starts tomorrow at 11 a.m. legal tampering period.
Okay.
Looking forward to it. Maybe, depending on how the league shake out, we'll get an episode out next week just to see, what happened. We'll see if the Falcons give us something to talk about, though. I ain't gonna sit here and talk about how they need to get inactive in the second wave of free agency. Nah, give me some news, Falcons. All
I
right.
completely agree.
I'm excited for that and I want to see that. But um I know right now we're reacting, but I am saying that right now we got some holes. Um, and I talked a lot of shit about Bill Belichick, but maybe Terry is a little cocky for no reason. I'm like, damn, you not even looking at linemen? Like,
Yeah.
what if one of them falls and you're like, oh shit, we should get that guy. Don't get me wrong, I know how this thing goes. Just because those are the people you meet with, that don't mean that's who you're drafting, right? But you might mess around and look up and see, damn, this old lineman that would be a great fit for our scheme, then drop to the fourth round, and he could probably potentially be a starter for us if necessary. But you didn't send nobody to meet with him. So, there's things like that make me wonder. I'm like, who do you think you are doing that? That's how I felt about that. Um, you know, we're gonna see how Terry play this thing out with Kirk Cousins. Um, I feel like Kirk trying to force his way out a little bit more, but you know, we'll say this. It'll be results oriented for how we feel about Terry, because Terry doing a lot of strange stuff. And if it work out, we're gonna say it's genius. But I ain't gonna lie though, if it don't, boy,
We gonna see.
I'm gonna start calling him T dumbass.
Or T on his way out.
Oh man. All right. Hold on. Let me see if we got any other notes, because obviously we saw Geno Smith get chucked out. I know. Hold on. Let's see. And oh yeah, yeah. So I know. D. Alford and Nate Landman didn't get tendered. Oh
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
yeah. Good move. I'm like, all right, yeah. Don't get overly attached to guys, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I had good strong attachment to both of those guys when Ryan Nielsen uh was defensive coordinator for us, and those guys did good. But Ryan Nielsen ain't here. He's not in Jacksonville anymore.
Yeah.
So what good does that do us now? All right, what we see them in Raheem's scheme is that's what they are. All right, and so it's no time to mess around. See if we can get them on the cheap, and if not, it's been real. It's been fun. It ain't been real fun, and wish you the best. That's pretty much
Yeah.
my thoughts on that.
I kind of agree. Don't get me wrong. I like Nate Landman, but he's more of a rotational guy.
Yeah,
Like he started for us at times, but due to necessity, not because we need. He's our first choice. Uh, yeah, we got a lot of holes to fill, man. Like I said before, we got 4 draft picks, a lot of money tied up in Kirk, so we broke, and we risk losing a solid player on the O line and Drew Dalman, but he ain't worth top 5 money, top 5 center money. So we honestly gonna see how this off season plays out. Terry, he finessing for his life on this one.
boy, big time.
You are in Atlanta, the city of scammers. You gonna have to scam. You gonna have to scam, lie, cheat your way into getting the next contract. Because right now the odds are stacked against you right now. The odds are stacked against you. Because like, who you gonna sign with no money? Trey, you gonna have to. I don't know how you gonna make that happen, but who you gonna sign with no money?
They can restructure some
You
people
still got
and
all this
maybe
money
extend
tied
some
up in
people.
Kirk. Well, you still got all this money tied up in Kirk, and truth be told, I kind of don't even really want to let him go because now we back in the same position where like who gonna be a backup QB? At least we know the QB hole is sorted. At least we know that position is sorted. So I don't know what we gonna do. We got 4 draft picks. I keep talking about that shit. We got 4 draft picks, bro, and we can't miss. The crazy thing is we can't miss. We gotta hit every single one of them. Every single one of these picks gotta at least produce starter potential. And now, in my opinion, I think we go DB1. The next pick, maybe linebacker. The next pick, I know Terry didn't put no, he didn't do anything for it. O lineman. And the last pick, D line. That's what we're gonna have to do. But at least that's my thought process on this.
So I look at the draft part a little different. I look at it as first 2 rounds, you need the best starter you can get for a pass rusher or a corner.
I agree.
Right? And by best, I mean best cumulative. So if in the first round you got to take a corner, or if you can trade back and still get somebody, then that's what you got to do. But you cannot take a mediocre pass rusher in the first round and then go to the second round and have to set up a mediocre corner as well. If you can get an elite pass rusher and an elite corner in the first round and then get a mediocre pass rusher in the second round versus getting a mediocre pass rusher in the first round, mediocre corner in the second round, don't do it. All right. And if there's an elite pass rusher there, then fine, go ahead. You can prioritize elite pass rusher, but you gotta get a guy that you think can change your life on defense in the first round, regardless of the position, and you gotta attack one of those positions in the second round as well. All right. Then I think after that, the hope is that you can at least draft people who will be playing for you this year. At least one more. Because that's just the truth. And look, there's ways to move monies around now. One of the good things about how Terry has front loaded these contracts like he has is that now that still gives room to push it back without adding years necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you got, now maybe we're going to have to add some years on some of them. We're going to have to, I heard we were talking about restructuring Grady. I hadn't seen any official movement on that. I don't know if you have, and if you have, please feel free to interrupt me. But, I want to see, I hope, I pray, I would love for Grady Jarrett to stay a Falcon, but he does have a pretty big cap hit. Anyamata does too. And I mean, it's time to start figuring out, all right, how we gonna put this thing together? Like, can we get off of Pitts and, just to get more picks? Like, don't get me wrong, I don't want to let go of the production. I don't really, I'm loathing the fact that Pitts might not be a good tight end here, and then he's gonna go somewhere else and be a great tight end. But he's also an asset right now. You know what I'm saying? He's due $10 million on his 5th-year contract, and he's got a contract coming up. And it's like, hey, Zach Robinson's still the OC. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't super optimistic he's gonna use Pitts the right way. And hell, if we're not gonna get the value out of Pitts that way, we can get the value out of him another way.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just looking at ways for the Falcons to work things out to increase their overall asset pool, just to try to do whatever we can to take leaps and bounds forward instead of just inch by inch forward, because it's not working out that way, man. We move forward a little bit, but then we move back a little bit. We gotta move forward a lot so that when we move back, maybe it's a little bit, but we still made a net gain.
No, that's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
so that's pretty much how I'm looking at that.
No, I
Oh,
agree. I agree. So like we do got a little bit of options, but hey, like I said before, this is Terry making moves for his job this offseason.
yeah, I think so as
Yeah.
well, bro.
So we gonna see how it shakes out. We gonna see how this week shakes out because it's gonna be a very interesting week. I'm
Boy,
looking forward to it. I love
hey,
it.
hey, we gonna see. We will see. And look, maybe I typically work at a time that's not great for me and Cam to get on together, but we're gonna try to get something up if these guys um make some crazy moves tomorrow or at any point during the week. So you will definitely be hearing from us because this is an exciting week. If this could be the last time you sipping hopium until the draft, or this could be a time you sipping hopium until the start of the season, baby.
Yeah, we we about to find out.
So I'm excited for tomorrow. So we'll see what's going on there. Anything else you want to add, Cam?
I think we covered everything, man. This was a good episode.
All right, awesome, man. I feel the same way. I definitely had a lot to get off my chest as you guys heard. So not gonna keep you. I definitely appreciate you guys watching. Y'all guys know the drill, man. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, hit the little bell when you want us some real niggas uploading. Peace.